Today, we're diving into one of the most intense and psychologically fascinating moments in all of literature. It's the point where Shakespeare's sonnets take a sharp turn from pure, simple love into the messy, dark, and complicated world of betrayal. So picture this. For the first 31 poems, everything is perfect. The speaker is completely captivated by this amazing young man, the one we call the fair youth. The poetry is just full of praise, almost like worship. It's this picture of totally uncomplicated love. And then, bam, that perfect world just shatters. Something happens, some kind of betrayal, that throws our speaker into this spiral of grief and anger and really tortured thinking. So let's follow that shadow and see where it leads. Our journey into this whole mess starts with the speaker's very first reaction. And, instead of just lashing out, he wraps his pain in this absolutely beautiful but also kind of deceptive metaphor. Sonnet 33 kicks off with this breathtaking image of a sunrise. For a full 8 lines, you just get this gorgeous, lush description of nature. The sun is kissing meadows, turning streams to gold. It's so lovely it almost makes you forget that something terrible is about to happen. And here's the pivot. He reveals that the sun he's been talking about, it isn't the actual sun in the sky. It's a metaphor for his friend, the fair youth. And just like a real sun can vanish behind the clouds, his friend has suddenly disappeared from his life, leaving him feeling abandoned and disgraced. Now, this is where Shakespeare just shows off his genius with the word stain. He says that even the heavens sun staineth, or gets stained by clouds. That one word is doing double duty here. It suggests the friend's betrayal is like a cloud, a natural thing, forgivable. But a stain is also a mark of shame, of dishonor. So he's forgiving him, but he's also acknowledging just how badly he's been hurt. But that gentle, forgiving mood, yeah, it doesn't last. In the very next poem, Sonnet 34, the metaphor gets tossed aside and the gloves come off. He straight up asks his friend, "Why did you promise me a beautiful day and then let me get caught in the rain without a coat?" The pain is no longer some abstract sorrow, it's personal now. It's an accusation. But then the anger takes another turn into somewhere even more complicated and, honestly, more painful. He stops blaming his friend and starts blaming himself. This line is the heart of Sonnet 35. He feels this civil war raging inside him. He loves his friend, but he hates what his friend did. And this internal battle leads him to this really shocking idea that he has somehow become an accomplice, an accessory to the very crime that was committed against him. So how on earth does he get there? Well, Shakespeare lays it out like a legal argument. First, he starts making excuses for his friend, comparing his bad behavior to natural flaws, like a rose having thorns. In doing that, he basically becomes his friend's defense lawyer. But then he has this realization, if he's defending the person who hurt him, he must be arguing against himself, the victim. And that's how he gets to this wild conclusion that he's an accomplice in his own heartbreak. So he can't win this war inside his own head. What's the next move? A tactical retreat. He decides that they have to separate. But get this, not for his own good, but to protect the very person who hurt him. I mean, this argument is just gut-wrenching. He says that even though their love makes them one person, they have to live as twain, or 2 separate people, in public. They have to pretend they don't even know each other. To really get what a huge sacrifice this is, you gotta know that in Shakespeare's England, your reputation, your good report, was everything. It was fragile. Just being seen with someone who is considered shameful could ruin you. So our speaker is giving up his own happiness to protect his friend's public image. It's a truly profound act of devotion, twisted as it is. Up to this point, what the friend actually did has been pretty vague. It's a cloud, a storm, a sensual fault. But now, the story finally fills in the blanks and reveals what caused all this pain. This is the question we've all been waiting for, right? What could this fair youth have possibly done to cause such an emotional catastrophe? And there it is, the oldest story in the book, a love triangle. The friend, the person he practically worshipped, has gotten involved with his mistress. It's a betrayal on 2 fronts at once, hitting both his friendship and his love life. But listen to how he frames it. It's incredible. He calls his friend a gentle thief. The forgiveness is baked right into the accusation. And that line, "Thou steal thee all my poverty," wow. He's saying, I didn't have much in this world, and you took the only thing I had. It is just devastatingly beautiful and painful, all at once.
The speaker perfectly sums up his friend's toxic charm with this phrase, lascivious grace. It's a total contradiction, an oxymoron. Lascivious means sleazy, lustful, but grace is all about elegance and beauty. His friend is so incredibly charming that he makes even his worst actions seem beautiful. His good looks are a moral liability.
And that brings us to the psychological grand finale of this whole saga. Faced with losing both his best friend and his lover, the speaker's mind cooks up one last desperate plan to try and argue the pain away. Okay, so check out the mental gymnastics he does here. He basically says, wait, you, my friend, only love her because you know I love her, so your love is really for me. And she only loves you for my sake, so her love is also for me. And since you and I are one and the same, that means she actually only loves me. See, I haven't lost anyone at all. It is a flawless, beautiful, and completely transparent lie. And then, after building this elaborate fortress of logic to protect himself, he knocks the whole thing down with just 2 words: sweet flattery. He admits it. He knows he's just flattering himself. He knows it's not true. And this is what's so incredible. The story doesn't end with true forgiveness or a happy resolution. It ends with the speaker realizing that he's consciously choosing to believe a comforting story because the reality is just too painful. He's not won the war. He's just negotiated a very fragile truce with his own heart. And that leaves us with a pretty heavy question, one that feels just as relevant today as it did 400 years ago. When you knowingly lie to yourself to feel better, is that a kind of wisdom? Or is it a weakness? It really makes you think about the stories we all tell ourselves to survive.